story where the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has issued a strong warning to motorists, urging them to pay their fines through designated banks and refrain from offering bribes or any form of gratification to patrol officers. He emphasized that the FRSC maintains a strict zero-tolerance policy on bribery and corruption, stating that such practices are entirely against the Corps' values, ethics, and standard operating procedures. He further warned that any motorist caught attempting to bribe FRSC personnel will be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the provisions of the FRSC Establishment Act 2007. He reiterated the Corps' unwavering commitment to professionalism and integrity in its operations. Interesting. Of course, we understand that Nigerians can be a lot when they are desperate in situations like road traffic offenses and all of it, and so and when they need to document some papers and they do not have it and all of that. We see that when it comes to that, Nigerians can be desperate, want to bribe. But sometimes you wonder, if this matter, if there is no market for something, a lot of people will not, they won't sell. It's not accusation, I'm just saying that there is the possibility. But Etoma, let's get your perspective.
Yes, you just took that off my mouth. Look, bribery is a transaction. That means two parties have to agree.
Exactly.
If two parties do not agree, a transaction cannot happen.
Place.
You know, however, let's look at his point of view. That's the Corps Marshal, his point of view. The reason you guys want to bribe my officials is because you don't do the needful when you're supposed to do. File your papers when you're supposed to file. If they say you need this paper on the road, go get it. Do due diligence. If you want to travel, 3, 4, maybe a week before you travel, ensure that you have all the documents that you need. That way, if a road safety officer stops you on the way, you can stop with your full chest and show him everything. If in spite of that, he asks for, you tell him, no way, I can't give you anything, because you are complete. You are complete. You have everything that you need. So, making the statement sound as if it is the motorists that are always pushing to bribe the officials, that's what I am against. Because
sometimes Nigerians are desperate and they push. They push because they want to, hasten up some things. Just close your eye for this one. Just collect this one and take care of yourself and make it seem like. But then at the end of the day, we would need to do something, the needful, if perhaps make the process seamless.
But when I saw the headline, the first thing I said to myself is that you should rather be telling your people not to collect bribe than telling the motorists not to give bribe. Because you don't know the motorists, but you know the people that work for you. So the first thing you should have done is to tell your people not to collect bribe. And I'm going to highlight something. We understand how we can be sometimes, as Nigerians, you just want to pass quickly instead of following the process of the bank. But he said something that made a lot of sense. At the end of it, the most important thing he said is that if any motorist comes and they want to give bribe, then they should arrest the motorist. And I feel like that's the only way this is going to work. Your people do not have to be corrupt, because once those people are corrupt, there's nothing you can do to the motorists. It's not even possible.
And Nelson, how do you think this would work? Arresting whoever is found culpable of pushing bribery and corruption.
I'm wondering, arrest who, how? Like she just said, you don't know the motorists, but you know your own staffs.
You are expected to know
your staffs. So let's start from your house first of all. What kinds of training do our officers on the road have? Are they averse to being bribed by Nigerians on the road?
He mentioned it, that they have ethics and rules.
I'm sure the Corps Marshal drives through Nigerian roads and he sees what happens on the roads. So before coming to talk to Nigerians, let's address our house first. That's the first part of this conversation. The second part now is, okay, let's get to the roads. most of the times people have all the documents. It's not, look, it's not every time that Nigerians don't have documents. Everybody have most of the times people have the documents, but they're not trying to look for other things. Hey, your tire is done like this. Hey, your fire extinguisher is done like that.
It's for your own safety, for goodness sake.
So when you now try to look for all those other infringed wahalas that is not even a wahala, that's where the convention of Oga Make and they go comes into play. Because you don't need a particular a paper for tire. You don't need a paper for extinguisher. You just need papers to show that you own the car and other, which we all have, most of them we have. And so when you now start to bring other things and then you want to delay somebody from going to where he wants to go, why wouldn't I say,
let me even say something, Nelson. But quickly, let me say something here. I believe that sometimes, when they meet people and they want to collect something, you need to remove the B in your eye first before you remove the B from another person's eye. We should also look at these people. Are they being paid well? Because if you are hungry, I'm not saying so. I'm not supporting bribe. Of course not.
Is hunger supposed to be the basis for which
but they should really look at these people. Are they even being paid well? These people that are put on the road to stand in the hot sun.
We have never seen them carry placard that they have not been paid well. Neither have we heard them complain. But this matter brings to mind the need to create more awareness for motorists.
That's right.
The kind of documentation they should have, whether for tire, whether for extinguisher, whatever paper or any other thing.
Phone or not wearing your
what
seatbelt.
you should know as a motorist plying any route in Nigeria.
That's right.
The documentation you should have, such that when any of the corps marshals or corps officials now ask you questions outside of those papers, you now have the evidence to say, Baba, no, these are the things that you people say we must have. So why are you asking me for something that isn't here?
I agree. Corps Marshal has done his homework before coming out to talk to motorists. I'm sure they have some kind of training sessions for their officials. And the ethics, their zero tolerance on bribery and everything must have been stressed over and over again within the organization. And he felt that, look, we've done what we are supposed to do, so with our staff. So the next thing is for us to talk to the motorists. But as Vera said, you have to do a lot of education. We have social media now, so it's not as expensive as it used to be. So you can take advantage of social media and send messages to motorists directly.
We have TVC News now.
No, we do.
They've been friends with TVC. They've come on our program several times, and they've had conversations like this. But driving it down to the grassroots and the route itself, the grass, whichever level you're looking at it.
Coming on the table to have a conversation. Let's put an advert on TV, right?
Like let's see it everywhere. Let's see it everywhere on social media as well. And also, what I would like to say is that I love the fact that they say that if they catch somebody saying they want to pay bribe, they should arrest the person. I hope that they can really work on that. If that is being worked on, I feel like it's a way step in the right direction.
Well, let's see how that will move on from here. But it's key that motorists are educated and more awareness created.